Welcome back, Focus Learners. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're taking a sprawling, deeply emotional, 4,000-word spiritual monologue, and we are going to break the whole thing down. Our core goal for today's explainer, to take this dense, lengthy message and explain it in a really simple, easy-to-digest, logical structure. Whether you're super familiar with this kind of spiritual material or it's completely new to you, we're going to objectively unpack the actual mechanics of how a message like this is constructed to comfort and motivate.
Okay, let's dive into this breakdown. We're looking at 4 distinct parts today. 1. A message of comfort. 2. 3 steps to peace. 3. Overcoming life's battles. And 4. The promise of victory.
Starting with Section 1, a message of comfort. Establishing the bond. Right from the very first sentence, the text says, "I speak to you from the depths of my heart, for you are dear to me. Listen to these words with your entire being." I mean, wow. It completely cuts through the daily noise, right? It's establishing an incredibly intimate connection right out of the gate and essentially asking you to put the whole world on pause. It demands your absolute focus, claiming that what's coming next is way more important than whatever else is occupying your mind today.
And that brings us to the core identity the text gives you. It constantly calls the listener a beloved child. It's a brilliant framing technique. It's actively trying to shift your mindset away from anxiety by telling you, hey, you are secure, you are sheltered, you are deeply valued, and ultimately, you're protected from worldly harm.
Moving right along to Section 2, 3 steps to peace, the action plan.
So what's the actual game plan here? Amidst all the poetic language, the text actually transitions into giving you very specific, actionable instructions. It explicitly claims there are 3 exact things you absolutely must do today to calm your soul. Give your heart completely, offer heartfelt gratitude, and share the words with others.
Let's unpack those. Step 1 is all about surrendering without reservation. The source actually issues a bit of a warning here, saying that a partial surrender, only committing when it's convenient, is actually dangerous. Without that solid foundation of a 100% commitment, it argues your life is just going to get tossed around by emotional waves, leaving you totally exhausted by the highs and lows. Complete surrender is presented as the only real defense against life's storms.
Step 2 is expressing sincere gratitude. It wants you to mentally list out your blessings, past, present, and even the ones you expect in the future. But here's the really fascinating part. It says that even if you feel like you have absolutely nothing to be thankful for, you should give thanks for the sheer ability to give thanks. That act alone is presented as a literal mechanism to heal your soul and take the blindfold off.
And finally, Step 3 turns that focus entirely outward. It asks you to reveal this message of love to the people around you. It points out that a lot of folks who look perfectly content on the outside are actually secretly suffering right on the edge of despair. The promise here is that if you share this specific message of hope with those aching hearts, you'll be enveloped with total peace, harmony, and prosperity in return. All right, Section 3, Overcoming Life's Battles, Worldly Struggles versus Spiritual Reality. What's really interesting here is how the text constantly validates your real-world pain, but immediately counters it with a higher perspective. It explicitly names the heavy stuff, crushing debt, anxiety, false friends, exhaustion, betrayal. But then it matches those worldly struggles with a promised spiritual reality, offering divine protection, royal garments, unwavering faith, and supernatural strength. It's asking for a total mindset shift from worldly pain to spiritual armor.
Just listen to this powerful quote. "I will shatter chains and bondages, enabling you to live a life of freedom independent of anyone else." For anyone feeling intensely defeated or alone, that is exactly what they want to hear. It's not just a promise that you'll simply survive. It's a promise of complete, independent liberation.
Which brings us to the climax of the narrative in Section 4, the promise of victory, the tangible rewards.
Across those 4,000 words, there are these amazing guarantees of divine intervention, and they get very specific. The text promises to unlock open doors, resolve that lingering debt you've been carrying, restore harmony in your family, defeat envious enemies who mock you, and even deliver outright supernatural miracles. We're moving from abstract spiritual comfort to concrete, tangible life changes.
But wait, interspersed with all these grand promises, like calling you more than a conqueror, there's some surprisingly grounded, practical advice. It urges you to wait patiently for the perfect timing. It literally warns against making impulsive, emotion-driven decisions, taking on more financial debt, or making deals with fake friends.
It's almost acting like a life coach, pairing this massive spiritual grandiosity with really pragmatic, everyday self-preservation.
And that leads us to the ultimate conclusion. After making its case, laying out the steps, and promising victory, the text hits you with this highly intimate, demanding final question. Now answer me. Do you believe, and do you love me? It places the ball entirely in your court. So, having seen this complex, sprawling message broken down simply into its core mechanics, how do you interpret its methods? And honestly, how would you respond to a message that asks for total surrender in exchange for total peace? Think about that, and keep seeking to understand the hidden structures in the messages around you.